special episode of my new podcast turned talk show, Just Be You After Dark, with me, your host, Mahogany Reynolds. And I have a marvelous guest that's joining me this evening. So for those of you who are tuning in, I want you to just let me know that you're here. You can post something in the comment section and I'll glance at it just to shout you out. If I have any friends and family that are watching, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. All the friends of Seth, I really appreciate you logging in to support him. So let me tell you a little bit about this artist that I'm interviewing. One of the reasons why I started this show is because I wanted to create a platform for artists who, because of the quarantine, they can't work right now. Everyone's stuck in the house, such as myself. I'm in my home studio. And so I didn't want to just stay stagnant. I wanted to keep being creative. And so I came up with the idea of turning my podcast into a talk show. And as a result, I've had so many wonderful interviews already. And this is going to be one of my favorites, I can just tell. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Seth. Seth Witcher is a marvelous musician. He's a singer and a songwriter. He just recently celebrated his 21st birthday. He is in college right now studying marketing communications. Very intelligent young man. He says that he wants to understand the business behind show business, which I think is very wise. Recently, he was the winner of a very awesome talent contest that was on Fox TV. And he's going to tell us all about that. He won first place. So he is now officially is going to be signed to a division of Sony Music. Isn't that marvelous? So for all you young people who are watching, if you have a dream that you are trying, I encourage you never to give up on yourself. I think that everything that you are striving to do, any of you who have an aspiration and a dream and a goal, I know that right now things are very up in the air, but I don't want you to give up on yourself. I know that shows and events are being canceled, but please don't cancel yourself. At some point in time, we're all going to get through this. Right now, as we try to get through it, let's grow through it. All right? So back to Seth. Now, he was also featured in a magazine called Lehigh Valley Style. And as it turns out, the reporter who did the article about him listened to some of his music and said, "Who is this guy? I have to meet him." His sound is so fresh and it's so beautiful. He has a wonderful voice, and we are truly going to enjoy listening to him and getting to know him better. We're also going to talk a little bit about relationships, which is the focus of my podcast. So get ready for some very candid conversations about that. So, without further delay, I would like all of you to clap and have a great time listening to my special guest. His name is Seth Witcher. He is joining us from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and his first song selection for us by a guitar, which, everybody, he built the guitar himself. Okay, it's called being a luthier. Isn't that fabulous? He built the guitar with his own hands. So he's going to be singing for us. His first selection is Isn't She Lovely? Welcome, Seth Witcher, to Just Be You After Dark.
Thank you so much for having me, Mahogany. I really
welcome.
Appreciate it.
I am so glad, and thank you for being patient while we try to just wait for the Wi-Fi and all those different technology things that we really don't have any control over. So everybody's learning the value of patience nowadays, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's all good. I'm happy to be here, and I'm so grateful that you have me on the show.
Awesome, my pleasure.
So I'm going to sing this song for you. I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you all for tuning in. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought through love we'd be making one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely, made from love? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought through love we'd be making one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely, made from love? Isn't she pretty? Only the angels best. Boy, I'm so happy that we've been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done. Through us, He's given life to one. But isn't she lovely, made from love? Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought through love we'd be making one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely, made from love?
That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everybody, don't we need more love? Right?
Of
There's so
course.
much stress, right, Seth? And so much anger. And unfortunately, so much sickness. That music like this is so healing. And we need more of that. We need more of you, Seth. Oh my God. That was absolutely fabulous. So, ladies and gentlemen, he has his own website, SethWitcherOfficial.com. And you can also find him on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter. All you had to do was put in his name. His last name is spelled Witcher. And I'm friends with him and connected with him on all my social media. So you'll find him there also. And in a couple of days, I always post a rebroadcast of this show. So you'll also be able to listen to that song all over again. If you need a pick me up, if you're feeling down, that was a beautiful, beautiful song. Seth, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really
Let's
appreciate it.
get into this conversation, shall we?
Okay.
So you've been singing or you've been being a musician. How old were you? 8 years old, 14 years old? You were very young.
I was actually 6 years old when I first started playing piano.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been singing on and off my whole life. I really started taking it seriously for the past 3 years, but I've been singing for a very long time. But yeah, I started playing piano when I was 6 years old, and then I picked up the guitar at like 7, and then I just fell in love with it. So I've just been playing guitar ever since then.
Wow. And at 6 years old, you were rather little kid and a big guitar. How adorable.
Yeah.
Hats off to your parents for supporting you and learning how to play music. Music is very good for children to learn, no matter what the instrument is, right?
100%, 100%. I wouldn't be the person I am today if my mom didn't expose me to piano, actually. So it
Nice.
wasn't my idea. She made me and my siblings take piano lessons when we were younger.
Nice. And so now you are based in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Allentown, Pennsylvania is approximately maybe like an hour and a half away from New York City, correct?
Right. Like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, hour and a
Mm.
half, 2 hours. So that's not too far. So I heard that you have recently, well, not recently, all in 1 year, but over the course of your career, you have performed at over 200 different live performances, Seth. Really?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
amazing.
Thank you so
How
much.
do you
Thank you.
keep your energy up? What do you do to get prepared for a show?
Um, Honestly, it's not performing isn't draining for me. It's something that I really love to do. So my energy is kind of always there. It's like I really feel like I was made to do this, and I'm just honored and I'm grateful that uh, I'm able to actually pursue my dreams and perform in front of people I don't know and make people smile. I play pretty much everywhere. I play bars, restaurants, stores. I play what festivals, pretty much anywhere you would go, you could find me there, and I love it. I feel like I was made for it.
I feel like you were made for it too. You're very natural. Your energy is very positive, and your voice is so absolutely flawless.
Wow,
So
thank
I'm
you.
very, very happy for you. So now, recently, you were a contestant in a talent contest
Yes, ma'am.
and you came out first place. Congratulations to you. So
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about this talent contest that you won and what were some of the perks that you received.
Right. So the show I was on is called Spotlight Under the L, and it's a show that's on Fox 29. And it was basically like America's Got Talent or American Idol, only smaller scale for just the Philadelphia area. So it was basically me versus nine other extremely talented Philadelphia musicians. I'm honestly like I was very surprised when I won, just because like everybody was so good. I was like, wow, I won,
Mhm.
it really does not feel like I won. Like I feel like I'm dreaming, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to wake up. Because because it's like I went from to go from playing in bars, and like when you first start out, you're not going to be the best at it. So like the first time I remember playing at a bar, I almost got kicked out because it was bad. To go from that to winning the show, and since I won the show, that means that I get like basically $60,000 worth of promotion um, for myself, and then I also get a distribution deal through Sony Orchard, which basically means that my music will be available anywhere in the world. A lot of distributors, they say that they can get your music everywhere, but they really can't. There's some places in the world that they just can't reach with their resources, but since Sony Orchard is a part of Sony Music, they have all the tools needed to get the music where it needs to go. So I'm stoked. I'm so stoked.
Wow, congratulations. So, how did your mom feel when you won this? Did she scream and dance and hug you and say, "Oh, I'm so glad I made you take those piano lessons"?
Honestly, I think I was the one doing the screaming. I don't know if you saw the show. I like jumped over the camera dude's head. Like I was
I
screaming,
saw you.
crying, all of
That
it.
was risky. You got to take care of yourself. You got a record deal. You can't be breaking bones and stuff. You might have a performance coming up. They have to wheel you out there.
It's just I know, but it's just something about like accomplishing something that you only dreamed of. And so like I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, Seth, like you're so emotional. Like, why? And I just told him like, hey man, like I've only dreamed of this moment, you know, and I actually won. You know, my dream is to be a mainstream music artist. Uh, and this opportunity literally is a step in that direction. So this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm so grateful for people who believed in me. I won by unanimous vote from the
Wow.
judges. You know, and the judges were Jermaine Jones from American Idol. He was a top 10 finalist. Robert Swartz from Distribution. Jolie Roberts from Daily Motion, and Charisma. McElwain, I believe. She's like a TV personality in Philly. So like there's some pretty big people there, and they all unanimously they voted me, and I'm just like, I don't know, I was blown away. So yeah, very grateful. I'm the one who cried.
That,
My mom just she hugged me.
oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Well, you're very humble, and I encourage you to keep that humility as your star continues to rise and you become so popular. And I also will make sure that you come back on my show. I don't care how big you get. I will call you and text you until you respond, because I have big plans for this show once we all are able to get back out into the world
of
and do
course.
what we
Yeah,
do best, which is create art, right?
of course. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, listen, I want to ask you a question about love,
Okay.
okay? Because I listened to some of your music and you have a lot of songs that talk about love, that focus on love. And I just want to ask you, most of the times we know that an artist will use their craft to work through challenges that they're going through, to express things that they've experienced in life. What inspires you? What is at the core of your music?
This is a really good question. Honestly, my goal in my music is to be relatable, be able to relate with people all across the world, all different walks of life, you know. Relatable in the music, but also uplifting in a way that's not cringy, you know. Like for instance, um, I don't really like listening to music that's talking about drugs or gang banging or something like that, just because like sure maybe for some it's relatable in the moment that they're in, but it might not bring them up, might not make them feel better, you know, or thought provoking or whatever. It's just kind of like it's just a song, you know. Um, and with my music, I strive to kind of open up my own heart and be, show people who I am, and in doing so, kind of make people think about themselves and reflect, and we all kind of go up and become better people, because that's what music is to me. Music is something that brings people together. Music is it's emotion. Music is love, and yeah. So that's what drives me. So I have written songs about love, because like for instance, I was like I just got through a breakup, and so I wrote A Game of Love. And I wrote So in Love and I'm Sorry, because of the relationship I was in the way I was feeling, and I wanted people to be able to kind of like see that part of me. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question.
It does. It does. Would you agree that being an artist requires a certain sense of vulnerability? Like you have to be unafraid, as you said, to show people your heart, no matter what kind of artist you are, even if you're a sculptor or painter, a dancer, actor, any kind of form of art, you are literally sharing so much of yourself, and it makes you kind of vulnerable. Do you agree?
I totally agree. In my mind, when I see an artist, I honestly, I think of somebody who just puts their heart out there. For me, singing is almost like being naked. Because it's like it's all of me. It's
It's
just
that
me.
kind of show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Just Be You After Dark. You never know what can happen. Just kidding.
No, but I mean, I'm being real with you. Like for me, singing is like being naked. Like I'm out there for display. You know, you can judge me, you can love me or you can hate me, but I am me, and that's what I am. So I see art like that 100%. But that's what I love about it. You know, because it's just like I'm human. You know, I feel what you feel. I bleed. You know, and so I feel that my job is to be able to bring other people together, and even like help people be able to accept themselves,
Hmm.
you know. So I don't know, I love it.
I love what you said about self-acceptance. Um, Especially people who are a bit younger.
Mm,
It seems like a lot of them are struggling with that. And with social media, we love it. We use it all the time. We need it, right? But in some cases, young people have a tendency to measure their self-worth by how many likes they get, how many followers they have, who makes positive comments on their posts. And if someone doesn't like them or doesn't like their posts or maybe says something disparaging, they almost have a tendency to judge themselves accordingly. So, as an artist, what do you tell yourself every day to make sure that you remain true to who you are, despite the fact that everybody may or may not accept you or like you?
hmm. What do I tell myself every day? This is such a good question.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Honestly, I don't really have to tell myself anything to be like, okay, Seth, stay yourself. Um, I don't know. I because I love myself. I already
Hmm.
do love myself. Um, so I really don't feel like I need to, you know, like, but I'm grateful to God and I'm grateful to my parents for that, you know, for showing me what it looks like to love yourself. Because a lot of times people they don't know even where to start with that. They don't know what that looks like. So, like you said, they're kind of following what other people do, you know, and
Hmm.
if you know if you don't look a certain way, if you don't talk a certain way, then they might not feel like they're worth it. But um, you know they totally are, and so I haven't really dealt with that. I'm fortunate to not have been able to not have dealt with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's important to accept yourself. Being an artist out of, I don't know, I can't think of any other career that you can pursue where you're going to be criticized and judged more than the arts. Doesn't matter what kind of art it is, but it is an industry that you kind of like, you have to understand getting into it, that
Mm,
people are going to criticize you, they're going to judge you, they're going to critique you, they're going to try to change you and morph you into what they think you should be. And so I guess I want you to give some type of words of encouragement and guidance to a young man or young girl who is either your age or younger,
hmm.
who is watching this or will watch this and say, I want to do what he's doing. I can
Yeah.
sing too. I can play instruments too. What would you tell them to make sure that they stay true to who they are?
Well, it's so cliche, but it's so true. No one can be you as good as you can be you. And the world needs you. You know, that's something that I know about myself deep down. That's something that my parents instilled in me. Um, just that we are all unique and we all have something to offer. So you know, don't feel like you need to change. Don't sell yourself short because you know you are amazing just the way you are, and you know, doing what you love will literally impact people more than you can imagine. So, for instance, I wanted to be a robotic engineer actually before you know, before I decided to really pursue music. Um, you know, I thought engineering would be good for me. I figured I should be an engineer because, you know, the successful people are working 9 to 5s, you know, and music isn't
Mm,
guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that you're going to do well. So for a while, I just kind of did what I thought I was supposed to do, not necessarily what I loved. Um, and it sucked. It was the worst. you know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it made me feel depressed. Anxious, all that kind of stuff. Doing things that I didn't like doing. Doing things that I just thought I should do because other people were doing it. The minute that I said, screw the world, I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I don't care what anybody says. This makes me happy. Then seriously, all the pain, all the negativity just left, and I just felt so happy. And it's crazy to me now. It's crazy to think about this, but I've got people messaging me from high school, random people I don't even know, just saying like, Seth, you inspire me. Like, I had this random girl. She's from like somewhere over in Europe, and she messaged me. She said, "Hey Seth, I don't know you. I just want you to know that you're my idol. Your music is literally amazing, and it impacts me." And like for me, that's crazy. Like I've never experienced that before. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that I was just that I followed my heart. So like follow your heart, yo. I truly believe that all things are possible. It doesn't matter how big your dream is. As long as you believe in yourself, I believe it's all possible. I'm grateful that God's been with me to help me. But if I didn't take this step, then we wouldn't be here right now, and I wouldn't have won the show.
Very true. So very true. It's not enough just to have faith.
Yeah.
You need that, but you have to put some work behind it. You have to put some initiative behind it. And you also have to recognize that on your journey, no matter what career path you choose, the closer you get to the fullness of who you are, the more opposition you're going to face.
That's so true.
The more challenges you're going to face. The more times you're going to get up on stage and you're going to totally blow it.
I gotta say,
or you may forget the lyrics to your song, or if you're at stand-up comedians, they call it I bombed and I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of like just stood there in front of the microphone. And these people are now like well-known stand-up comedians. I produce a comedy show and I interact with comedians all the time. And that's another artistic career path that makes you extremely vulnerable. The way you describe, like you feel like you're standing on stage and you're in your birthday suit and everybody's like looking at you and judging you and they're waiting for you. Some people are rooting for you to do a great job and some people aren't.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to be conscious of that. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we don't get distracted by people who are not supportive of what we're doing. Even if they're close friends and family, sometimes you have to love people from a distance and you have to stay the course and stay focused on what you know God has put in your spirit, because he gave you a gift, right? Before you were born, that gift was already in you. And it's interesting, Seth, now there's so many people who are out of work, right?
Yeah.
And jobs that maybe they like their job. 9 times out of 10, maybe they didn't, right? And so like you gave that example about you thought about pursuing one type of career and you tried it and you were miserable and you were unhappy. But as soon as you start doing what your gift was, that's when all the joy in you start to bubble up, right? Yeah. You know what I hope on the other side of this situation? People who are finding themselves either out of work or maybe perhaps working from home or maybe rethinking their career. I hope that those people who really felt like, you know what, I always wanted to do this or always wanted to pursue that. I really hope that this situation gives them reflection time so they can really just go for it. I mean, because if you fail, at least you tried, right? You don't want to get old and gray and say, gosh, I wish I would have tried. I personally believe that there's no expiration date to dreams. I really do believe that. I mean, if you want to be a runway model and you're 60, you better go, girl. Because the
Yeah.
fashion designers design clothes for older dolls as well. I just feel like there's always room. God will make room for your dreams. I heard Pastor Joel Osteen say that. He said, God will make room. So I'm admiring you simply because you recognize your power. Do you realize how powerful you are? The fact that you are inspiring people that you don't know, that's a lot of power, Seth. What you gonna do with all that power?
Um, I'm just gonna get on my knees and thank God, keep going. See, the goal is to show everybody that, no matter what they believe, no matter where they are, that all things are possible. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it first. I'm just gonna make it. I'm gonna be mainstream. You're gonna see me everywhere. You're gonna hear my music. You're gonna love it. And then it's gonna inspire you to be able to follow your dreams and your passions too. So
Right.
I'm just grateful. That's all I can say. I'm
Nice.
grateful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You declared that making declarations is very powerful, right? Because whatever you say has the power to come true. So if you say, I'm never going to make it, I'm not good enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I can't sing, I can't dance, I don't know how to do my job well, I'm never going to graduate from school, all of these negative things that can come into your brain, you can let them come into your brain, but you don't have to speak them out of your mouth. And if you slip up, because nobody's perfect, okay, we have our days, and you
Mm.
slip up and you may say, gosh, I'm not really good at this, or I'm not feeling myself right now, you can always double that back and correct. Say, you know what? No, I'm the bomb. What am I talking about? I'm fabulous. Have you seen me lately?
Mm.
Just encouraging yourself. Have you had any situation in your career where you just really did think maybe I need to focus back on that engineering career?
Um, no, not at all. I've loved every second of it. Something that I'm seeing now is like sometimes like when you first start something, you don't know
Mhm.
how bad you are. Um, but that's good. That's a good thing. Because I was looking back at like old videos of myself when I first like really started getting into it, and I didn't sound good. I wasn't doing it.
Mhm.
But if I listened to that negativity back then, I wouldn't be where I am today. So like people who are following your passions, or maybe you haven't followed your dreams yet but you want to, just know that when you first start, that's the worst it's going to get. So don't stop. Keep
Oh
going.
yeah, that's
Keep going,
right.
because
That's a good
like
point.
it's not gonna get like as bad as it is when you first start. It's probably gonna be bad, but that's okay. Just don't give up, because if I gave up, this wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't be smiling right here in front of you. Like, you know
Very true. I mean, when you
yeah.
first hear like, someone tape from a long, long time ago when they first started their career, and then you
Mhm.
fast forward 30 years later and they're on the Walk of Fame and all of that stuff, and they have all of the platinum albums and things of that nature, you're right. If they would have gave up on themselves early on, they wouldn't have got to the end of their journey, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's good advice, Seth.
Thank you.
So now listen, young man, this next song that you're singing for us called Marionette.
Yes.
Now, this is a love song.
No,
It's not.
it's not.
Okay. It's not. What is this song about, Seth?
It's actually about what we were just talking about. It's I wrote this song based on me breaking free of my perceived expectations of others and following my
Mm,
dreams. So
wow.
yeah, like when I was in the engineering, and I was doing the 9 to 5s and all that kind of stuff. I felt like I had to do that because like some unforeseen hand, the hand of society, was controlling me. And like if you want to be successful, you gotta do 9 to 5. That's what I felt. That's what I felt people were saying to me. That's what it felt like in my life, and in my situation. So I just went along with it, and I hated it. And it wasn't until later on that I realized that nobody's controlling me except for me. So
Mm,
I'm the one with all the control, you know? So like I'm gonna do what makes me happy. And so this song is really about kind of like connecting with that feeling of being controlled and you know, not feeling like you have control, you know. But even in the song, when I don't feel like I have control, I state that, you know, somehow I'm going to cut these strings, somehow I'm going to break free of whatever I feel like is controlling me, you know. And actually in the studio version of the song, at the end of it, you hear like scissors cutting string, and that represents me breaking free and you know, following my dreams.
Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, join me in sitting back and relaxing while we have this live performance by Seth Witcher. Thank you so much for joining us, and I would love for you to post some comments as you're listening and watching in today. Just be mindful not to call in or anything like that because you could possibly disrupt the performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Witcher.
Watch me dance, I know you'll smile then. Gather all around, yeah. Watch this puppet man. Bet you can't hear me cry. Tears fall down inside. Marionettes cry. Just look into their eyes. Watch me dance, I know you'll smile then. Gather all around, yeah. Watch this puppet man. Bet you can't hear me cry. The tears fall down inside. Marionettes cry. Just look into their eyes. My life is controlled by a string. Hands hold it tight, can't break free. The slightest movement moves me. This life is a circus, save me. I can't give up, the show must go on, but I've had enough. These voices around me sound sure enough, but they don't know anything, yeah, they're so wrong. You don't know a thing, still I'm lifted up. Somehow I'll cut these strings, take my life and ride. Watch me dance, I know you'll smile then. Gather all around, yeah. Watch this puppet man. Bet you can't hear me cry. The tears fall down inside. Marionettes cry. Just look into their eyes. Watch me dance, I know you'll smile then. Gather all around, yeah. Watch this puppet man. Bet you can't hear me cry. The tears fall down inside. Marionettes cry. Just look into their eyes. Watch me dance, I know you'll smile then. Gather all around. Watch this puppet man. Bet you can't hear me cry. Tears fall down inside. Marionettes cry. Just look into their eyes. My life is controlled by a string. Hands hold it tight, can't break free. The slightest movement moves me. This life is a circus, save me.
Wow, I'm speechless. Just let me sit here for a minute. Woo! Absolutely amazing.
Wow, thank you.
Amazing. Let me just say something. This is not directed towards you, okay? This is directed to all the people who are constantly sitting around whining and complaining that they can't do this because they don't have that. And I can't get my dreams done because I don't have these kind of connections. And I can't do what I want to do because I can't get out and perform right now. No, no, no. Seth is in his house, just like I'm in my house, and he is performing as if he is in Madison Square Garden. Do you understand that you are not to allow anything, any circumstance, any situation, any limitations to stop you from pursuing your goals? Because if you do, you are definitely going to regret it. Am I right or am I wrong, Seth?
You're so right. When you were bringing up you don't want to live a life of regret, that's actually one of the things that drives me the most. I don't want to be, sitting by the fireplace, rocking in my rocker in front of my grandkids and telling them that I wish I did,
Right.
I want to tell them that I did. So,
Right.
that's why I'm following my dreams. So you're right.
Wow. Absolutely beautiful. I love that song. I love it. And I did listen to the studio recording too. I like you live. Yes,
Thank you.
indeed.
Thank you.
No offense, but some artists can't perform live. Okay, they just can't do it. I mean, I don't know what that's all about, but some people just, their studio, it sounds great in the studio, but live, and you're singing acoustic too. So that means everybody that doesn't know what that means is that he's not plugged into anything. Okay, there's no soundboard or anything like that that's kind of smoothing his voice out or fixing things. It's pure. It's his voice and his guitar. Does your guitar have a name? Like BB King's guitar, he called her Lucille.
Well, actually, okay. So this is not the guitar that I built. This is an acoustic guitar.
Oh,
I'm gonna show
okay.
you the guitar I built.
Show me, please.
Yeah, the guitar I
The
built.
guitar that is. Be appropriate.
This. You had to say that. Yeah. So this is the guitar that I built. I built this when I was in high school. It's called Erotesis, and the name is Greek for questions. So I named my guitar Questions because I want to learn more about who I am as a person, and I hope that in my songs I uncover a little bit more about who I am and how I feel about certain situations. And I hope that in doing so, I kind of unlock, that in other people, meaning like they learn a little bit about themselves too through my music. So I'm answering my questions about myself through my music, and I'm bringing everybody else along for the ride. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I don't want to downsize your age because I think that's disrespectful. Everybody gets wisdom at different ages. Okay. There are some 10-year-olds that have more wisdom than 50 years old. Just because you're older doesn't qualify you as being wise. Okay. I don't believe in with age comes wisdom. I just think that wisdom is something that God gives people at different phases and different stages of their life. And at your age, 21, for you to be tapped into and concerned about knowing who you are, that's honey, let me virtual high five you for that.
Thank you.
No, for real, because there's people who are like quote unquote grown, real grown folk. They have no clue who they are, what they want, why they're doing the things that they're doing, how did they get to where they are. And it's important to identify who you are, especially in the music industry, because that's one of the main industries, I think, where an artist who is unclear about who they are can be transformed almost like what's that transformer, those robots,
Yeah.
1 minute is a robot, next minute is a car.
Yeah.
And if you're unclear about who you are, people will try to turn you into who they want you to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you could possibly end up just as unhappy as you were when you were working that 9-to-5 job, because that wasn't authentically you. So as you build your career and as you get more and more popular, may I encourage you to please stay true to yourself. And that may mean, Seth, that there are some doors that are going to have to be closed because not all of them are going to be open to you staying true to who you are.
I agree with that. I believe that the doors that will be open are the ones that are supposed to be open, and so
Hello. Yes,
it'll work
indeed.
out.
You can close the other ones. I'm fine. I don't need that. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. All right. So now, before when we first met, I told you that my podcast, Just Be You After Dark, is really a podcast where I like to talk about relationships.
Right.
It's a topic that some people they kind of like shy away from, um, especially when it comes down to intimacy
Hmm.
and connecting with people that you're in a relationship with. So, with your music, the experiences that you've had in your relationships, has creating music helped heal you from some of those hard situations that you were in?
Yes. Yes. For instance, when I went through a pretty bad breakup, I needed an outlet. Basically, what happened was I broke up with the girl I was with, not because she did anything. She was totally like the best in the world, but I just realized that she just wasn't the one for me, you know? And so I didn't want to waste her time. I didn't want to waste mine. And it sucked because I wanted her to be the one, and she wanted to be the one, but she wasn't the one. So I had all this like emotion and I felt really bad about it because we were together for a while, um, and it was one of those things that I kind of like just found out. It wasn't one of those things that I knew all along, but I was just hanging out. It was like I was like we were happy, and then all of a sudden I just started realizing what certain feelings were and what was going on, and so I ended it. But I felt really sorry, and I just felt really bad about it. So I had to make a song, and I made a song called "I'm Sorry," which it's like the first song I've ever produced. So it's not the cleanest in the world. But it was one of those things that I needed to do for me, and I'm happy that I did. I got it off my chest. So yeah, now now where my music is headed, I'm not necessarily writing about relationships. Now I'm really focusing on myself, and how I feel about certain things. But who knows? Who knows? I might write another song about a relationship. Who knows?
You know what's interesting? You said that you're focusing on yourself. So, with the topics that I've been discussing so far on my show, when I talk about relationships, I'm not necessarily trying to dissect relationships and fix relationships, so to speak.
Hmm.
I'm challenging people to think about what they're doing. Because a lot of times in a relationship, it's always, well, you did this and you said that and you went here and you went there and you didn't do this and you're not giving me that. But what I'm encouraging people to do is, I said this, I said that, I didn't do this, I should have done that. Please forgive me for this, or whatever the case may be. And then, like you said, recognizing who you are, what you want, what works for you, and what doesn't work for you.
Hmm.
Those things to me are the core of a healthy relationship. If you're not willing to have that inner dialogue with yourself, your own self evaluation, you're going to come into the relationship wanting someone else to fulfill you when you really should come into the relationship full already. What
I
do you
totally
think?
agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
So, moving forward, as you get older and you start to develop new relationships, what are some things you think you might be able to do differently that you learned from the past?
Um, Honestly, I think the thing that I would be doing differently this time around is just knowing exactly what I want in a person. Before I wasn't totally clear. I really didn't think like that far ahead in the future. Like, okay, if I want to be with someone forever, like, what do I want? And I thought I knew, but um, I didn't. And I'm sure that I'm always going to be learning some new things. But now, what I know for sure is I want somebody who is secure in themselves, someone who knows who they are, you know? Um, not like they have nothing else to learn, you know? But I'm saying like they're not like a leaf in the wind, you know? Like they're not easily influenced by other people because they know what they stand for. Um, you know, uh, stuff like that, you know? So I think for me on my end, it would just be knowing the kind of person I'd want to be with. That's what I feel like I've grown in. Um, but as far as like treating people with respect and all that kind of stuff, I've always had that. So like I have both my parents at home, you know. I'm fortunate to have both my parents, and before high school, I was homeschooled. So I was homeschooled all the way up to the ninth grade, like before the ninth grade. So I have a really good example of what a relationship should look like. You know, what a relationship shouldn't look like, you know, and what
Yeah,
to do,
keep it real,
how
because
to
it's not always perfect.
yeah, like how to treat people, you know, and
Right.
how to expect to be treated. So you know, in my past relationships, I I've handled it pretty well, I believe.
Good, good. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Well, as you get more popular, you're gonna have more girls Instagramming you and following you. Hopefully not stalk. Hey girls, no stalking. Okay. He didn't that's not what he said he wanted. And if you were listening, he said he's looking. Well, he didn't. First of all, he didn't say he was looking. Let's get that straight, right? You didn't say that. You said that you are more aware of what you want,
Yeah.
and that person needs to be someone who is not just blowing in the wind. She
Mm,
needs to have some type of foundation. She
yeah.
needs to be rooted in something, right?
I mean,
That's a wonderful quality.
if you really want to know the person I want to be with, I totally I want like a woman. If that makes sense. That's what
You hear that, girls?
I
A woman,
yeah,
yes, honey.
no, like for real. I was in the barber shop, you know, and one of the barbers, you know, I had my guitar with me, and one of the barbers was like, "Hey man, you can have any girl you want. Like you just come in there, play your guitar, you're set." And I was like,
Oh Lord.
I was like, "Hey man," I said, "I don't want a girl. I said I want a woman. That's all I want. I just want a woman. That's it. I don't need girls because girls come out of nowhere. Like I could have girls if I want girls. I don't want girls, you know? Like I just want somebody who's about something. I want somebody who's independent, somebody who is doing their own thing, you know. Somebody who's just like out here following their dreams too, you know. And I want it to be where it's like I think a relationship should be a partnership, you know? It shouldn't
Yeah.
be somebody leaning on somebody like too much. Like, no, it should be like we're both going together. And if you need to lean on somebody, I'm here. But if I need to lean on someone, then you're there for me, you know? And then we both go up together kind of thing. So,
Very true. Because sometimes there's a lot of imbalance in a relationship.
yeah.
Somebody is taking way too much and they're not giving back into the relationship, and it leaves the other person feeling emotionally drained and exhausted. So it does need to be considered more like a partnership and be balanced. Now I want to say something. I put a little Q&A on my Facebook page back in like February, and I just asked a general question. What do you think? Now I'm not asking you, this is what I put on my Facebook page. I said, what do you think is the main reason why there's so much division in relationships? And some people commented that they think that, and these were men who said this, they said that some men can't handle a real woman. Some men can't handle a woman who, as you said, is independent, who knows who she is, and things of that nature. What advice would you give some of the brothers out there who might be saying the same? I'm looking for a woman too. I hear what you're saying, Seth. I can't find me a woman nowhere. So what are you gonna do when she show up? How are you
Are,
gonna handle that?
are
How
you
are you gonna
saying,
handle it, Seth?
yes, you're saying, what would I tell myself?
Yeah.
Um, Stay open-minded. You know, I'm fortunate to have been able to run across some people who like I could see myself with. And staying open-minded is something that I think is very important. You know, just on both sides. I mean, for me, I don't want to sound like whatever, but I gotta be real with you. Like
Please
Mahogany, it's
do.
after dark. Like,
Please do. It's after dark. Look,
okay.
it's the almost 11:30. All the kids should be asleep. And I already told these people this show is for grown-ups, so they shouldn't be watching anyway. So if you are under 18, go to bed or go watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I'm just gonna be real with you, and I'm not being extra. I just know who I am in this way. Um I I can handle it.
Okay.
No, I'm saying that
No,
because
I believe you.
like I don't want anything else. I've been around, I've been with girls, and it's not it. That's not it, like
Mm.
I don't know. I'm surrounded by women, like my sisters. I've got two older sisters. I've got an awesome mom, and I've got all these examples of what, a woman could look like, and I live with them and I can handle it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm
Nice.
making a good case for myself, but I just want you
No,
to
I think
know.
that's awesome.
I know where it's at. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Nice. Nice, nice. Well, I just tell you, I encourage you in the meantime, as this woman enters your way and that she makes her way into your life whenever that happens. In the meantime, continue to do what you're doing, working on building your character and knowing who
Mm,
you are and following your passion like you're doing and putting out content that is positive because we really don't need any more negativity. It's so much of it going around. Negative energy is toxic and we really don't need any more of that. So I love the fact that your music has such a pure, loving substance to it, even with songs that you might be talking about something that's difficult. You are having this ability to write music that still makes you feel good inside. And I think that's wonderful.
well, honestly, I got to tell you, it's not just me, I ask God to help me with everything, to write through me, sing through me, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to do anything if he's not there with me, so I'm grateful. The fact that you said that means a lot.
Awesome. You should be. You should be. It's important to keep, everybody, may call God whatever, a different term, or the creator or the universe, or whatever the case may be. But it's important to know that there is a higher power governing over your life. And when you stay connected to that, even when things show up that throw you off, you have this ability to stand strong in
Mm,
that storm instead of just getting blown all over the place. You're strong and you're able to stand in it, even if it's painful. Even if you feel broken, you know that you can still stand strong and get through that. And music is a great way to help people heal. Don't you agree?
I do. I totally agree. And that's why with my music, I don't want to be limited to like a certain group of people. I want it to reach everyone. And I'm happy that it's actually doing that. I don't need to like mention God in my music or all that kind of stuff for people to feel uplifted or feel good, regardless of what they believe. They don't have to believe in God. That's cool. I just want them to hear the music.
Right, right.
Because it's good. It's good. It's good energy, and it's what it's my heart. So I just want them to know who I am.
Nice, nice. So I want you to tell everybody, is there anything that you have planned coming up? Maybe this year, maybe next year. I know that you're gonna actually you need to start working on an album. What do you got in store coming up? Any China performances or anything that you're gonna be working on?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a ton of performances, but due to the virus, I haven't been able to go and perform. But all the dates that I did have were pushed back. So still got some events coming. I've got for the people who are based in like Bethlehem, PA, or if you know what Steel Stacks is, I'm actually going to be performing on their live stream May 8th. And on their page, they have like 40,000 followers on the page. So it's a pretty big deal. They asked me to perform for them. I'm really grateful for that. So that's happening. And Mahogany, you already know we have an album in the works. I've got like an album already ready, basically. But you know, I can't I'm not cleared to release stuff like that. So I'm just following my management team. I'm following their lead, my PR team, all of that. You know, because I'm up and coming. I'm new. Not a lot of people know me at all. So we're getting to, you know, where they can know me. And then maybe we'll start, you know, really releasing huge stuff.
Well, whatever I can do to help more people know you, I'm definitely signing up for that. Because I don't stand behind artists that I feel like lack character. And even if you had a beautiful voice and you were fine as a glass of wine, everybody know Miss Mahogany love her wine. Okay, thank you. But even if that were you, but you lacked substance and you didn't have a good character, you had bad energy, your name would not come out of my mouth. So I definitely will be doing everything that I can do to help support you and to tell more people about you. And when all of this passes by, or when things change, or whatever the term is going to be, and we are able to start performing at events, I definitely need you to perform live at one of my events. That will be absolutely amazing. So everybody heard him say yes. Okay. So I don't care how big you get, and I don't care how long it's going to take, but I definitely are going to keep you to that, because I have some young people who I coach and mentor, and they would really benefit from being inspired by you, Seth. I have some adults that will come to this show that will love to hear you sing live. So I'm excited about that, because I got some stuff that I'm working on, honey. My studio that I'm getting ready to open up. You know, it's like everything's on pause right now, but my real estate agent sent me a place that he found for me. I'm like, oh, wait, that place is everything. I can't wait till this is over so I'm tired of wearing masks when I go outside. It's a mess. But I'm just hoping that in the future, the very near future, that you'll be able to come out and perform for us. So everybody, if you want to hear more of Seth, go to his website, SethWitcherOfficial.com. You can also follow him here on Facebook. You can follow him on Twitter, and he also has the Instagram page. And when his album drops, he is going to get in contact with me so that I can let you know, so that you can support him. It's very important that we support young artists, especially those young artists who are trying to put out music that is positive, that is creative. And the fact that he is writing his own music is genius, and it's a gift. So we definitely want to support you, Seth. So don't worry, I got your back.
Thank you, Mahogany. I appreciate you.
Indeed. Okay, young man. Well, that was a great conversation.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And I told you I was gonna make you blush, right? So I accomplished my goal. Yay!
Did I blush? I don't know about that. Did I blush? I've just been smiling. You got me cheesing over here, that's for sure.
Well, close enough. I'll take that. There it is.
You're funny. You're funny.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for this special episode of Just Be You After Dark with me, your host, Miss Just Be You, Mahogany Reynolds. I want all of you to know that this interview was one of the most special ones I've ever conducted, because this young man has dropped so much knowledge and so much wisdom on you guys to encourage you to not give up on yourself, to know who you are, and to pursue your dreams no matter what. So if you have a job that you are unhappy, I'm not telling you to quit your job. Okay, so don't go in there sending no emails telling someone, well, this lady named Miss Mahogany told me that I need to pursue my dreams as a chef, so I quit. No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is make time for your dream. Make room for it. And even when it gets difficult, the creator of the universe, God, whatever you call it, will make room for your dream. So please don't give up on yourself, okay? And don't give up on Seth, and don't give up on me, because I got more coming for ya. Every Saturday night, I'm going to have another guest on the show. And I really appreciate you for watching tonight. And I wish you all to be safe. I wish you all to be well. Seth, is there one last thing you'd like to say before we sign off?
Honestly, just stay tuned. Get ready, because there's more coming. And honestly, I don't think you guys are ready for it. So, that's it.
He said you're not ready for this.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, a real woman will be ready, honey. A real woman wouldn't run. Okay, so
I guess we'll see.
Some women might not be ready, but let me stop before we have to the whole another half hour. We have to have the Just Be You After Dark show.
Just Be You in the Light. Is that what that is?
Something. Thank you so much, Seth. Don't disconnect, okay? Because I'm going to give you one more bit of information about something I want us to work on for a project, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a really beautiful rest of your night. And please don't forget what Miss Mahogany always says. Be blessed and just be you.